So we're going to try and do a camping vlog, although we're not off to a great start already considering I didn't record any of the loading or the hooking up of the trailer. We're going to give it a try anyway. We're all loaded up, ready to get out of here, and come along with me on a couple of days while we go camping in northern Arizona. Unlike so many of you out there that have to start your day off with coffee, I start my day off with Jamba Juice. Now, I must say, this is a new one. Living in Arizona, I've had a lot of rocks hit the windshield going down the freeway, but never have I ever had one come through the back window and then hit the dash. But that is precisely what happened today. Yeah. Looks like it was definitely stuck in a tire. Could have been one of my tires, because you can see a flat part on the rock there. Yep, that one's weird. So we have made it into the site. I've been coming to this campsite for almost 27 years, from the time that I was 14. I always like coming to this site. It's out of the way, it's off the beaten path. We are boondocking. I don't like camping around strangers. That's just not my thing. So I like camping out in the middle of nowhere. So we're gonna get set up, and then we can just enjoy the outdoors. We are by ourselves right now. A couple of friends are coming up later today, and a few more tomorrow. So just in case anyone is curious on some of the things that I used on the trailer, right here we got some Trimax wheel chocks. They're basically wheel locks, and an X chock from BAL. That is the first thing that I got to try and stabilize the trailer to take the wobble out. However, they didn't do as good of a job as I would have hoped, but these other things from BAL, these lock arms, they actually did a much better job. You can get them in pairs, and that's what I did. I got 2 pairs, and you can attach them to these legs like this, or if you have a travel trailer, you can also attach it to the scissor jacks if you want. I don't have any back there. I just have the 2 sets up front, and that takes plenty of the wobble out. And I also have a lock on my Reese Goose box. Now, one of the things you might have noticed already, yes, I am towing a 5th wheel camper with my Tacoma, And I know what you're thinking, a fifth wheel with a Tacoma is too much, but this fifth wheel has a GVW of 6,700 pounds, but the dry weight is just 4,500 pounds. So I just need to make sure that I'm not putting more than 2,200 pounds worth of gear into it, which I'm not. That's actually quite a bit of weight. And I'm taking into consideration the water and all of that stuff. So I am just making sure that I am underneath that total pounds. Now for the Tacoma, it does have a max tow rating of 6,300 pounds. That's for the 4-door, 6-foot bed. 6,300 pounds, and I know this has got a GVW 400 pounds higher, but I am just making sure that I stay under that. But also, there's another number to take into consideration, and it's the gross combined vehicle weight, and I am well below that. Now I have the trailer positioned where I want it, but I do still have some more setup to do. I got to get the slide out and set up some stuff out here, get some stuff out of the inside of the trailer. So I'm still the only one here, but I'll give you a tour of the campsite now that I'm all set up. All right, not too much going on out here. Of course, I got my chair. I got a 4-seater table. These things are awesome. As a kid, there's a guy named Roy Milehausen that would have these, and that's like one of the staples from camping as a kid. I loved those tables, so as an adult, I found this at Cabela's. I had to have one. I've had this for, God, I don't even know how long. Um, Probably more than like 17 or 18 years I've had this table. Still holding up pretty well, and it's nice because this one's metal and the ones as a kid were plastic and they still held up. A nice small piece of kind of AstroTurf carpet. I grabbed that at like Lowe's or Home Depot. It's 6x8. It just kind of adds to the campsite, which is quite nice, whether you're in a trailer or in a tent or sleeping outside in a cot. It's quite nice to have a couple tables, barbecue grill. Take you inside the trailer to show you the layout. So I really like the layout of this trailer. If you have kids, it's probably not the best layout. That's probably why it wasn't very popular when they made it. It's a Skyline Layton 213. Up here, the fifth wheel area, it's more of a bunk style with the bed up there, or I guess a loft. It would be a better term for it. Right below that, we have a dinette. I don't see that sleeping an adult, but that's okay because at most it's only me and my wife in here. One time I did sleep in here with my dad and my best friend. He slept on his cot set up right here in the middle. My dad slept on the couch. Steps to get up in there. I have remade those. I made this top step a lot bigger because there's a cubby underneath there that I actually, I guess, gained access to from outside. I cut a hole in the wall so I could actually use that storage space instead of it being dead space. On the bottom step, I opened it up here so that I could put my shoes underneath it. So that was a DIY project in itself. Over here we have a couch that's like a futon. It'll go down into a bed. It's in a slide. Now this is the one thing I really don't like about the trailer is the way that this slide works, but I'll show you outside. Over here we have an entertainment setup, or at least the TV. There used to be a radio up there, but it didn't. The DVD player didn't work anymore. I don't listen to the radio. I pulled it out and I actually gutted the speakers in the ceiling and I cut about 13 pounds out of the trailer. Over here we have the kitchen setup. Fridge, stove, oven, microwave, which is probably one of the few things in here that I don't really need. I've only ever made like popcorn in it. I never really used the microwave. And then we got the bathroom at the back of the trailer. It is a full bath, shower, and over here on this side, we got a closet. Now here's the outside of the slide. Here's a couple of things that I don't like. This weather stripping right here flips on the inside, and I have to push it out. It doesn't like follow the slide out, but it'll follow the slide in, but not out. It drives me nuts. So I have to push it out, and the top, it gets really difficult to push that out. And on the bottom side, the way that this is designed is it actually has a couple of rollers that it rides on, and then a track with a motor. Other than that track, it's not attached to anything. So the whole slide actually rocks back and forth as it's coming in and out, but also those nylon rollers end up starting to push through the bottom of the slide. In order to fix that, you would have to take it apart and somehow get the entire slide out and get to the bottom of it and replace the floor. I'm a DIYer, but I don't know if I have the skills or the ability to be able to pull this out and fix that. So what I did is I kind of jacked it up just a little bit, just enough to fit some, I think it was 1/8 inch steel underneath it. And so now those nylon rollers are running on steel plates instead of just wood. And that has solved my issue, and it's been like that for 10 years now, and I haven't had any issues since then. That's one of the things I don't like about the trailer. That's like the only thing I don't like about this trailer, but I love the layout, I love everything else, just don't like the way that the slide works. Now, this extension cord out here, that is for the solar. I don't have a generator hooked up. I didn't even bring the generator this time. It's for my portable solar setup. All right, so this is my portable solar setup, and I know there's a shadow being cast by this tree right now. In the forest, it gets challenging to try and set up solar so that you're still getting sun, but I have them in a place where I'm going to be getting sun a majority of the day anyway. We have three, I think they were, ETFE or whatever. They're flexible Renogy solar panels, 100 watt. I have 3 more on the roof of the trailer, but the trailer's in the shade, so I run these out remotely so we can get more sun. And then we have a 200 watt Dokyo solar panel. I have done videos on all of these. I think when I did the a follow-up video on the Dokyo panel, I was at like 3 years. However, I'm only using it for 1 week a year, but some other mixed camping trips in there. But guaranteed 1 week a year it's being used. And honestly, I don't think that the outside of it is holding up as well as I would like. So there's definitely some fading. And I mean, our sun in Arizona, it just hits different. There's definitely some fading on this nylon. It's very dull red now. It used to be like a bright red. And one of the handles is broken off. And this is also like really flexible, so it doesn't hold its shape very well. So I just have it leaned up against a log. It's nice because it's compact and it's lightweight, but honestly, I would probably go with something more like the Renogy. Renogy has one that is around like $215. I'll put a link in the description below if you're curious. I want to try it out, but right now I just don't have the funds to be able to buy it, and they're not going to send it to me for free. I would try that. I mean, I guess I can't recommend it because I haven't tried it myself. But as far as the Dokyo, I'm not sure how well it's going to hold up really long term especially if you're using it really often. Now I do have that all wired into like spliced together, and then it runs along this 10 gauge extension cord. That's the best way, or the easiest way that I found to do a remote setup. And yes, this is a 10 gauge to be able to run the amount of amps that I need to run. That was not inexpensive, but it's also been several years since I bought it. And I mentioned that we've been coming to this site for quite a long time. Since I was 14 years old, I'm now 41. And one of the things that we did is bring these blocks up. These are for like a retaining wall. I had these at home. I wasn't using them. And instead of just giving them away, throwing them away, or trying to sell them, I came up with the idea of bringing them up here and doing a better fire pit, because the rocks would just get spread around and wouldn't hold shape very well. I think the animals will dig around in there or whatever, or maybe people were just kicking them around all over the place. So we decided to bring these up here and make a much nicer fire pit, and these have been here for several years, and we love having them. So this bench right here was actually made by one of my friends. He's a handyman. This was just scrap wood that he slapped together because there was a couple of people up here that forgot to bring chairs. So he was able to just slap this together out of his scrap wood, and it's been up here for several years. However, you see why I don't have much faith in humanity, nor do I like people very much. So somebody decided to shoot a bunch of holes in it with a shotgun. Like, why? Like, why would you do something like that? It's obvious that people were using it up here. Like, I just don't understand why people have to do stuff like that. But that's why I don't like human beings, because human beings suck. I do have a few cords or some parts that I got to put together so that I can use the solar to charge the anchor batteries. Right now it's not set up to do that, but it won't take long and won't be very difficult to be able to just plug that extension cord into the anchor batteries. That's like 500 watts of solar, and I think this can handle 600. I don't remember exactly, but we should be okay. So this is what I'm making for dinner. Hamburger helper, the cheesy Italian shells. This is my favorite camping meal. However, instead of using hamburger meat, we're using the Johnsonville Italian sausage mild. This combination is my absolute favorite camping meal. So when I make this, I actually only make half the box at a time. That's because in one sitting it's too much for me to eat by myself. So I actually cut the meat in half, and it'll give me 2 nights. I don't cook it all at once. I mean, I guess I could, and then divide it in half, but that's the way I do it. I just cook half at a time. We got the meat already in there and browning. And so while this is my favorite camping meal, it is a bit emotional every time I have it, because this is the last meal that I did share with my dad before he passed away. I think it's simmered for long enough. So I fully acknowledge and do not claim to be a cook. I'm not good at cooking. I don't enjoy it. It's not something that I do. I'm an instant type of person, like frozen pizzas and stuff like that, and I eat out mostly. This right here, for me, hits 10 out of 10. And by no means is this a difficult meal to make, which is why I am capable of making it. So this is the end of day 1 for the camping vlog, and I'm headed to bed. It is currently 41 degrees outside, and it's 50 degrees in the trailer. I do have a heater. I could turn it on, but I don't really need to. I can just get under some blankets. But man, I really don't know how Mav does it when he is ice fishing on lakes in Michigan in the middle of the winter. Like, those type of temperatures are just, like, I can't comprehend how cold that is. And I guess that's a product of growing up in Phoenix my entire life. Never lived anywhere else. So when it gets to like 60 degrees, I gotta put a jacket on. Like, when it gets below 70, I gotta be putting a jacket on, especially if there's no sun, like in the shade or breeze. You gotta have a jacket on. So right now, with it being 50 degrees, I am a bit chilly. I'm getting warmed up being under the blankets. But yeah, I don't know how some of you guys do it. But then again, I mean, our summers are no joke either. So like my best friend says, you don't have to shovel 120 degrees. We'll see you in the morning. So we made it through the first night. I say made it like it was going to be any sort of survival thing, but yeah. First night, 2 friends showed up yesterday. We got 3 more coming today, or supposed to be 3 more coming today. It's time for breakfast. And my breakfast this morning, Oreo Puffs, because I'm a child. Man, I am really not good at this whole camping vlog thing. I didn't record anything after breakfast, and it is the end of day 2, getting ready to go to bed. And I guess we're actually into day 3 because it's 1 a.m. I had 3 more friends show up. There's a total of 6 of us now. That's my brother's tent right there. So, yeah, I guess I will try to record some more tomorrow. But I'm not doing so good at this whole camping vlog thing, so I apologize. So it's now day 3 of our camping vlog. And like I said last night, we do have 6 people here now. And I didn't do any recording yesterday, so I'm definitely not very good at this. We're going to try and do better today. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I will take you for a tour of the campsite. We have 2 tent sleepers, 3 vehicle sleepers, and then me in my trailer. So you already saw my setup with the trailer. I'll go this way. My brother's tent is set up here. Mr. C's tent is back there. Then we got Grady over here sleeping in his vehicle. He's got kind of a side tent set up to protect some of his gear and his RC vehicles, tiny toy cars. Another brother sleeping in his vehicle in his Sorento. And we got Anthony over here in his Rubicon. This is his setup, and he's sleeping in his vehicle. He's got this pretty cool 270-degree awning set up. I think that's pretty nice. So that's our camp setup. What do you guys think? Are you a car sleeper? Are you a tent sleeper? Do you like the amenities of having a camper? As I get older, definitely like the camper. Place to retreat when it's raining, windy, place to more comfortably use the restroom. And nice having the heater. Although the last couple of nights I haven't been using the heater, I've been using a heated blanket just to try it out. I've been trying it out with the Anker battery here, and it has been working pretty well. On the agenda for today, we're probably going to be playing with some tiny toy cars. Other than that, it's just a bunch of hanging out, and you'd think that it's really cold with how I'm all bundled up, but it's really only like 58 degrees out here, but it is windy, so that wind really makes my ears cold. And yeah, that's what happens when you grow up in Phoenix and you're used to a lot warmer temperatures. Well, you get a little performance anxiety, the camera turns on, you can't do it again? So here it is, night 3 of our camping trip. We're sitting around the fire and watching a little bit of Clue. For dinner, it was more hamburger helper, and I have jalapeno poppers tonight. What'd you have for dinner?
They were spinach fettuccine meatballs with some olive rice and almonds.
Sounds gross. Anthony, what'd you have for dinner?
I had Santa Fe, black beans and rice, and a cheesecake.
And a cheesecake.
Yes.
Cheesecake. All right. All right. I don't know if I'm having dessert. Oh no, I have Girl Scout mint ball bites thingy-mabobs. That's right. All right, Chris, what'd you have?
Cashews and dried fruit.
Cashews and dried fruit. The dinner of champions. Liam,
What?
what'd you have for dinner?
I had filet mignon, bacon wrapped filet mignon,
And some chips.
and chips and soda. And I shared it with my dog.
Right on. And Mr. C, we're going to leave that as a mystery. But I'm going to finish my jalapeno poppers, enjoy the fire, and watch Clue. And figure out whatever it is those Girl Scout mint ball bites. I don't know. I'll show them when I get them out. All right, here's what they are. Girl Scouts Thin Mints Bites. They're like in ball form. Found them at Costco, and they're pretty good. Especially when you can only get Thin Mints certain times of the year, so this was a fantastic find. Morning.
Morning! Nice day for fishing, ain't it?
It's day 4. More Oreo Puff cereal for breakfast. And a banana. It's a little bit colder today. It's 49 degrees outside and 53 degrees in the trailer right next to the door. Still a bit breezy. Still a bit chilly for my liking, but we're camping, so it's tolerable with the proper attire. I don't know if I caught it on camera. Nice. Not graceful, but you landed it. Well, we just got done doing our bash with the Tiny Toy Cars. We've already lost one of my brothers, but he wasn't staying past Sunday. And we're about to lose Mr. C's brother. Well, at least I assume, because he's all packed up. And Chris, you're going to be bouncing today too? So I guess we're losing 50% of the people today. So here it is at the end of day 4, and you would think that the way that I am bundled up, that it is like freezing temperatures out here, and it's not. It's just 43 degrees and windy, and it's kind of cold to us. We're down to just 3 people left. We got Mr. C over there in his tent, brother in there, and that's it. I'm going to be making some dinner, and it's Hamburger Helper again, 4 nights in a row, but I said that it was my favorite camping meal. So, but I'm also making more jalapeno poppers, or whatever they're called, bacon wrapped jalapenos with cream cheese. I don't think those are called jalapeno poppers. Whatever, I don't know what they're called. That's what I'm making. Also, I've been using the Anker C1000X and its expansion battery to run my heated blanket, and I haven't been running the heater in the trailer. Mostly I'm just trying it out and seeing how it works, but it's been running the heated blanket really well. The inverter that I have in the trailer is only 600 watts, and it doesn't seem to like the heated blanket so much. I have run it off from there, but I think on the instructions of the heated blanket, it says not to run it on an inverter or a generator. And that's more because I think it pulses. It like turns on and then it turns off. I'm guessing. I don't know. I've run it on the generator. It works just fine. On the inverter in the trailer, not great. But with the Anker battery, it works fine. I haven't been having any issues running it with that. Each box of Hamburger Helper, I'm dividing them in two so that I get 2 meals, like I said earlier. And that will be the second of that box. That's the last bit of Hamburger Helper that I have. It's the last bit of meat that I have, so we're going to get right into it. But I hope you've been staying with us so far. I don't know how long this video is going to be or how entertaining it's going to be. I've been trying to film stuff that might be entertaining, but not film stuff that's nothing's happening, to try and keep this video moving. Just trying it out, trying to do a vlog, trying to set my own goals for things to try, and this is one of those things that I am trying. Now this is what I use to gut my jalapenos. It's just a melon baller, but it works really good. Here's how it looks after I remove the guts. Cream cheese inside of them. Now, for some strange reason, the first time I made these, I had the bright idea of getting jalapeno cream cheese. I did get the whipped because it spreads easier, but also if I want to eat the rest of it with chips, it's going to be a lot easier to do that. And then I'm going to wrap them. I use pre-cooked bacon because it cooks a lot faster. I also use low sodium. I think the way that it's low sodium is it's just thinner. And then I stick them in the oven. Last night I did it at 400 degrees, but I didn't time it. I just kind of eyeballed it. But I know that some of the other channels that I've watched, like Roaming Reckless and Mav, they do different recipes and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons that drove me to do this camping vlog, was to share this recipe with other people out there. It's not as crazy or as involved as Mav makes, but I'm no cook, and it's not something that I enjoy doing. And this is how my dinner turned out, with the jalapenos and the Hamburger Helper. I'm sure you don't want to watch me eat it, and I am sure that it's going to be great. Morning. Today is the last day. Got down to like 25 degrees last night. I'm trying to pry myself out of bed so that I can start packing up my stuff and head home for the day. Probably eat some breakfast too. More cereal and one more banana. That's what we're having. Well, as per the usual, first one here, last one to leave. I'm all loaded up and I'm ready to roll out. Camp is cleaned up, all the trash picked up. Campfire is drowned and left soaking wet. There's a puddle there, so I think we should be good with avoiding the risk of it relighting. It is windy up here. It is pretty dry. It would be pretty easy to reignite if you didn't do those things. So take care of our forest, please. This site that we've been coming to for a very long time. In 2002, the Rodeo Chetiskyi fire almost wiped this site out. Right behind my trailer, you might be able to see some shorter trees back here. The fire burned right up to the edge of this site. And on the other side here, these short trees, they cut a fire line right through here. But it left the campsite itself intact. This site used to be really green. There used to be grass all over the place. We've been reseeding, trying to get the grass to come back. We haven't had much luck. But there are a lot of disrespectful people out here. People on side-by-sides like to come back in here and do figure eights through here and just tear up the site. I don't know why people are so disrespectful, but that's the world we live in. Human beings really suck, and that's why I don't like being around them very much. But I love this site. It's up on the Mogollon Rim in Arizona, near Forest Lakes, or Black Canyon Lake, if you know where that's at. This trip has been a little bit colder, a little bit windy, and would have preferred a little bit warmer, but oh well. It's a nice escape from the Phoenix heat, especially since we've already broken 100 degrees this year and it is the end of April. And so I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different than what I've normally done. I've been trying to do a camping vlog for a very long time, and I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. I'll find out after I edit it, but I'm guessing it's probably not going to be the greatest. It takes a lot of motivation to turn on the camera and talk to it. It's really strange to do it around other people. Right now I'm by myself, so it's pretty easy to do it. But when you're around other people, it's kind of weird. So I'm gonna get going. It's 135 miles from this site to my house, and it takes pulling the trailer about 3.5 hours just because of the long drive out of here to get to a main road. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Throughout the video, you may have seen a little hints in there. What do you think my favorite color is? Leave a comment in the comment section below, and we'll catch you on the next project. See ya.